Yeah, no, that's good. That's fine. That's working. I think it's working, except of course it's not. Thank you very much, YouTube, or wherever. Hello everyone, I'm Iron Phoenix and welcome back to the Everything Machine. Things have not gone particularly far this week. I'll show you around, but mostly what I've been doing is trying not to fall asleep. It has been unbelievably hot in the UK, and I've not actually had the brain power to do anything in Minecraft, which is why I've not streamed it. I've not really done much. I moved this around a bit so that it went over the top of the went over the top of the tunnel as opposed to through it as I had set it up. I don't like the look of this at all. This is... I think maybe if I can pull some bits out and make it look a little bit less square, it will be alright. But at the moment, it's not great. I know it's not great. I've just not really had the ability to get some reference material and just see what I can do to fix it. I did not expect there to be two skeletons up here. I need to light this up a little bit more as well. But, so this does take wood and it turns it into stripped wood, sticks, and this turns everything that goes through here into bone meal. So that's, yes, that's that. The farms, I've just kind of got a couple of very crude setups here. We've got grapes, we've got industrial hemp, and we've got nether wart. Still got some sheep there. As you can see, not a huge amount got done. We've got the bee silo, which looks wonderful. This looks really, really good. And it certainly will look incredible, I think, once I've finished it. Yeah, the walls are made out of lead sheet metal, which is a bit of a problem for, supplies. So there's no bees in here yet because they'd fly away. There will be bees in here, and that will be... It looks pretty good, actually, on this map here. Kind of got the aesthetic that I was going for, where we've kind of got these big circular bits and very square bits as well. So it looks kind of like a sewage farm. We've got our notice board here, which I do have a note. Don't worry, I do have a note on here to fix the notice board because yeah, it really didn't come out well. I don't like the notice board. Plus, it also doesn't help where it is. It's not really in a central location, and certainly if you walk back too far, completely missing the point. Walk back too far, you do fall into this thing. So yeah, I don't like where it is at the moment. That will be fixed at some point. I do need to dump some of this stuff off, but if we go over here, so this was my first attempt at a good looking wind turbine. I'm not sold. Part of this problem is that, oh no, that wasn't the problem. These won't connect to that, so it looks kind of very floaty. It does connect to this okay, and I'm not a huge fan of these either. It wasn't really quite what I wanted, so yeah, I'll have to work on some wind turbine designs to sort of get the right feel for it. However, if we go over here, so over here is the train yard. So yeah, so this bit here is going to be a train yard. This bit over here is going to be nuclear power station reprocessing facility kind of modelled off Calder Hall, which was the UK's first nuclear reactor that was for civilian purposes. Obviously, prior to that, we had the Windscale pile, which was it's a nuclear pile. It didn't produce power. It made it made fuel for nuclear weapons and a small fire. As you can see, not a huge amount's been done, but this machine basically takes a whole bunch of resources and turns it into thorium. So I am trying to get this up so that it's got a constant supply on the return for infinite thorium, essentially. However, it does require andesite. That's sorted out by one of these things, one of those extruders, I think they're called. Clay, however, is posing a little bit more trouble, just because, well, I don't really have much of it. I don't have a proper supply of it yet, so that's probably going to be one of my next things to sort out, apart from just placing those down. So what will happen is the thorium will get to this point, there'll be a splitter here, and I'd like it so that any excess goes this way. So it is going to take a little bit of time to kind of get it up, but any excess, maybe we just split it, whatever, doesn't really matter, and it goes this way. So by doing that, that gives us radioactive thorium, which then can be turned, and iron as well, which can then be turned into fuel rods, which will then go into a nice big reactor somewhere over here. Again, more modelled on Calder Hall is what I'm thinking. The difference between something like Calder Hall and Sizewell B is that Calder Hall is a little bit of an older design. Well, it's a lot of an older design. It's built, I say it was built. It's no longer there. Calder Hall doesn't exist. It's now a railway station. It's been very much decommissioned, but when it existed, it was a series of much squarer looking buildings with chimney stacks coming out of it, and then you'd have your cooling towers off to one side, and I'd love to do all of that if I can, but we'll see. Whereas something like Sizewell B, or pretty much every reactor since, has these very sort of these white domes which goes over the reactor core itself. And I would certainly like to get to the point where I actually build one of those as well. It's just that I would quite like a much more simpler design to kind of mess around with first before going into anything much more complicated. But in doing all of that, I did also find out that extruders can make all of the key rocks that can then be turned into resources. So I may also hook something up over this way. Actually, no, not over that way. The Icelandic village is going to be over here. Maybe over here we can put like a foundry or something along those lines. I say Icelandic village. I don't really know how to build that. I just kind of looked at snow and thought, yeah, that might be quite a nice place for a small town. I also considered over here golf course with nice wind turbines out here in the sea, somewhere like there. That might work quite well to have these sort of the wind turbines sort of dotted around there, and then a much more sort of resorty area here. Something that I can mess around with, like infinity pools and that sort of thing. much more sort of modern spa-like architecture. However, something like that would need quite a bit of quartz, I think, and sort of these more sterile blocks, sort of laboratory type of things. The stuff that is, it's stuff that looks very clean, very tidy, very futuristic. Whereas over here, this is much more sort of farms. This is a bakery, which doesn't work yet. So yeah, and this I sort of designed it to. Well, I built it first, and then I kind of thought, well, how did it get here? Well, it's now a container, and those were the bits that you kind of hook the cables to move it around. I think it came out all right. There's some changes I'd probably make if I was to do one of these again. Which certainly something like this. Okay, so something else we need to discuss. The schematic cannon is a thing within Create which would allow me to basically give it a schematic and give it a whole bunch of blocks and then just say go, and it just builds things for you. So, and you can move it, you can rotate these buildings and all that sort of thing. Something like this is very reproducible. Maybe a different type of floor, and certainly with nothing in it, but this is very much a very reproducible structure. Okay, might also want to go for something that's not lead sheet metal. Well, maybe if I've got enough of it. And that sort of then draws me back to why I'm doing this in the first place, the everything machine. I need everything. I need everything to build with, because an awful lot of these sort of plans, and these are all very, very stupid plans, it's going to require materials. I'm also going to require a logging machine, I think, for this area here. So that's going to be interesting, getting into all of that. And this world is literally just a world for me to expand on and to experiment with and do all that sort of thing with it. I do also want to get some airships sorted out, because I do have aeronautics mod on here. Even if they're just like little ones that allow me to go from one place to another if I don't have a rail connection set up to them yet. And the other thing that I do want to do is look at some maps. And I do actually want to get sort of a map of the world, but that's not the map I'm talking about. I need to look at some like satellite imagery and stuff of how towns actually evolve, because there's a lot of things that you can do in Minecraft which you can't really do in the real world, such as floating trees, obviously. Sorry, this is such an eyesore. I don't know how to fix it, but it is a bit of an eyesore. Maybe once I've got the farms in, I can then worry about that. You know what, let's start getting these farms in, because I need to do it anyway, and I've been procrastinating, and part of the reason why I stream these things sometimes is so that I can stop procrastinating and actually do what I need to do. Until Space Edge 2 releases its next update on the 6th. And then, yeah. And then I will be playing some of that for a bit. But I will probably want to return to this as my standard streaming thing. Right, so for this I'm going to need some bearings. Mechanical bearings, these ones. I need 2 of these, don't I? I've got 2 farms that need treatment done to them. I'm also going to need some andesite. Do I have any more? can go and get it from the reactor place if I need some. May very well need some. So I need the harvester. I also need to go and find the super glue, but we'll deal with that in a sec. Right, so we need a lot of that, maybe about a stack of that. Okay, let's go down into storage and see if we can find some harvesters. But before I do that, I'm just going to quickly drop these off. We've got the tree farm going on there. It's fairly simple design. Basically just have a mechanical bearing there, give it some power, and then have a big arm that kind of sweeps around. And it stops at these portable storage interfaces and unloads the loot. So let's nip down to storage. Central storage is also going to be something that I have to start thinking about soon. Because my current storage system is fine, but I built it in a stupid place. And for those you that don't know, as I will show you in just a second, my storage is built underground slightly, which is fine. The downside is that I got my calculations a little bit wrong, and well, I say calculations, I didn't do any calculations, there's a lush cave underneath and flooded caves underneath as well, which isn't ideal when you need something big. I basically needed something like this but bigger, and there's water right outside there, and I really don't want to mess around with that. So what do we need? I'm gonna grab some zinc from here, mostly so I don't have to use the iron. Do we have any andesite? Yep, got some of that. Also grab the alloy as well, and that casing, and I should have put some plates on while I was doing this. So yes, maybe the central storage will go out here. No, so it will be the sort of... Actually, yeah, that might work, thinking about it. So I wanted that to be the spa. Out here. And... that might work. Because if this is the spa, this is kind of what I want it to... You know, all the factories feed into a central location, and then I just get those resources. It's kind of how one of the things I've always wanted from a mod pack is a sort of a desolate world with, you know, lots of radiation, lots of poison, lots of that sort of stuff, where you are very much limited to you living in a certain area, and then building, going into the wastes and building your factories up, but you're not staying there. That the factories run without you. That's kind of what I've always wanted from a mod pack. So I guess this is my way of sort of emulating that idea of having one very nice sort of area that is almost like is it Greenbriers in Fallout 4, obviously based on the real place. Which is very, you know, it's a hotel. It's got a golf course. It's you know, all kept very nicely, and it's run by robots. But all things sort of feed into it. Yeah, that's sort of my idea anyway. How much any of this will come to fruition, I don't know, and I will certainly need to have a look at some inspiration. The line is actually one thing that kind of inspires me a bit. The original concept for the line, which was, well, I think the line is pretty much dead at this point, but the idea for it. Basically, like, it was meant to be like, I think it was meant to be like a 10-minute city, so you're never more than 10 minutes away from important things. And it was not for cars. You know, it's a 10-minute walkable city, I think, was sort of the general idea. Now, an awful lot of issues with it, obviously, because it was being built in Saudi Arabia, so there's always going to be a few issues with it. Mostly to do with sort of stealing land and that. I need to get the super glue. Yeah, those are the sorts of things that do sort of inspire me with Minecraft builds, especially because you don't want to be walking everywhere, but you kind of have to, unless you got an elytra or something. The other thing that kind of does influence some of what I'm doing here is Smallish Bean's city that he did in Hermitcraft 10. It was his first introduction to Hermitcraft, and he went probably a little overboard, but he built this absolutely fantastic city in Minecraft. So sort of pulling from that, and also pulling from Bioshock, obviously. Those sorts of great, that sort of Art Deco constructions. There's all sorts of big problems that I've got at the moment with building things like that, such as the big one. An awful lot of this sort of thing would be really easy to build if I had a happy ghast. I don't, because happy ghasts haven't been invented yet in 1.21.1. Yeah, they've not been invented yet, so I'm going to need an airship for constructing those big things, which is where the farm then loops back in on itself, because I need the sheep pens to be built. And talking it through means that actually, no, the sheep pens need to be built soon-ish. But first of all, I do need wheat so that I can feed myself and also feed the sheep. So, yes. Maybe by next episode I'll have a sort of a small building airship. A construction airship, if you will. Right, okay, so we are going to need to clear these out down here. Do want the arm to sweep this way. And I also need, I can go on there, it's going to be going on there eventually anyway. I also need a, I also need one of these. I need a barrel as well. I need one of them, these portable storage interface, and I need a barrel. I've already got a barrel in here. There we go. Right. Sleep, because phantoms and things are abound. Alright, you hold your super glue in your offhand, and then you get to gluing. The super glue in the offhand isn't like requirements. You can glue everything together once you're done. And do make sure that you take it out of your offhand before you wander around and glue everything to the floor, thus using up your glue supply. Just gonna do another one of these. Okay, so we need to go up to here. Yes, of course I want it to go there. Right. And if you do any accidental glues, you can just click on it with the super glue when it's in your hand. Right. That one is going to go onto there. Right. So the reason why I've done it like this is so that when this arm sweeps around, it's just going to harvest all the things. But it needs somewhere to put all the things, so I've put the, in this case, I've put the barrel on the arm itself, because I did the arm on the back there, and it just looks kind of weird like that. But it does, yeah, it does need storage, otherwise it's not going to pick anything up. So I need 3 more. Of these, which is fine. I think we can probably do 3. What am I missing? Alloys. And then once this is running, this is going to basically just make bread. Shift click these. I think I need 1 more, annoyingly. Just gonna remove that bit of glue, because if you don't remove the glue, if you put something down there, it can get stuck, and especially if you've got a machine that you don't want to be stuck places. Good practice just to clean up after yourself. Right, so harvester, we need 1 more of these. Can't remember if you need one that close in, but best to be on the safe side. Okay, so that is the harvester done. I'll remove that because that's essentially ready to go. Okay, we need power for it now. Obviously power comes from water wheels, unless it doesn't have to. Right. Guess what I've done? That's offset by 1. I'm going to move it anyway at some point. I'll hold off from powering this for now. But the arm is ready to go, mostly because I've not got this bit up and running, and I need to get the wind farm up and running first. Okay, well, let's see if we can just get this one cobbled together. And then probably won't put the harvesters in on that one yet, but I'll just get the arm in. there. Right. Right. That's all the resources I have for that one. Okay, that needs to be finished. Tell you what, I've got like 3 or 4 projects going on in a row here at the moment. So this is going to be made out of lead sheet metal as well. However, the following 2 bridges are going to be made out of deep slate. I've done a little bit of work here with the wood for now. This will probably change. I don't really like the way that how it came out. However, over here, that's an egg. I've got this system makes rails like that. Be really nice if I could get these. Perfect. Now, I don't have enough rails to actually finish it, but that is enough for me to start working out what needs to be taken out. What needs to be filled in on the other side. That. Perfect. And just a little bit more is done. Clear these. Okay, so another job done. Just clear away this one. Perfect. Right, so that's done for now. Said this will be sort of like a railway yard, so we'll have like hangars, for want of a better word. Those will contain trains. I don't know what you call it. A train, like a train house or something. Anyway, it'll be a train yard where trains will go to sleep, I guess. And then, yeah, and then just down the road we've got this here. Right, I should get some more kelp. Because I used it all up. And, yeah, so power-wise, at the moment most things are working on water power, but we'll be running off the reactor. I've got some designs for turbines, and those I can make using silver. I think, yeah, I can make it using silver and then dye the plates blue. It's not the same blue. This is more like a grey blue. The one that I'm using is a little bit lighter. It's a blue sheet metal. It's this one. So I can use any sheet metal and just dye it blue, and it will look a little bit more bluey than that. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. And there goes my brain. It's rather warm in the UK still. My brain's not really working. And yeah. There was something that I was going to be doing. Right, so these farms are done to the best of my abilities so far. I could do a little bit of work down here, but there's not really a huge amount of point yet. I'll need to do that one later, because that's going to be the storage and sort of base of operations, I guess. Kind of like, yeah, as I said, kind of like a spa, maybe something a little bit more like the Hitman sort of spa thing up on the mountains, a little bit more like that, and the rail line that goes in. Oh, I think I may remember vaguely what I was going to do. I was going to get some cobblestone and get that cooked so that I can make some more railway bits. You may ask, why am I burning the logs? Because I have quite a lot of them, so I don't really need to hang on to that. Really, I should cook them into charcoal first, but oh well. I've got quite a lot of it. So logging yard is ongoing, wind farm is also ongoing, cement factory, let's go up to here. Cement factory will probably go in here along with well, a whole bunch of other things. I also need to work out where the cannon factory is going as well, so that's the thing. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that will clear out my inventory. I am very tempted to start doing some just stupid things with, I've got the stuff, and then I can have some airships. Yeah, let's do some airships. Right, so for an airship, I need to make something basic, but I do need the, is it the physics? It's this thing, the physics reassembler. Can I use cobblestone to make levers? No. I can use that cobblestone to make levers though. Right, physics reassembler. So the way that this works, I'm going into some create aeronautics now. So the way that this works is that if I was to put together, if I was to just get rid of this creeper first, hold on. Arrows. I don't think 4 is going to be enough, though this I think is a power bow. There we go. Is it? Oh no, it's an unbreaking. Right, so this is nice place as any to do this. So the idea is, if I was to put a physics reassembler on here and do that, that is now a physics block, and then turning it off turns that off. Fine. Oh, that's another creeper, and I've run out of Right. Any more creepers? No, there's a zombie and there's a spider. It's fine. Okay, so if I grab, I've got my ants. So if I was to do something a little bit more like this, that gives me a platform. And then I need my, oh God, what is it called? A hot air envelope. That one. So this is our hot air envelope, and we also need. This is going to be a very, very basic thing. I know there is a coal block involved in its creation, block of coal. A hot air burner, that's the one. I'm missing a bit of redstone. And be a good idea just to get some fences for this. Okay, so the way that this works is we are going to be putting a burner on here. That needs a redstone signal, I believe. Yes. And then this is not going to be a very good looking one to start with, but I need more wool. I need more wool. So you basically create a balloon thing on top. Need some of that. I've got sticks. I need my shears. Not sure exactly where my shears have gone, so just make some new ones. Right. Okay, I got some shears. I got some this. Right. So we need to just get up here and get to gluing. That should be fine, and then by doing this and then doing this, and don't, it should, it might be too heavy, but might need more balloon there, but you can see that this bit is filling up with hot air. We just need a little bit more space. Also need a different type of lever there. because that lever is basically not very good at control. Need an analog lever. So by giving this and now we can actually see what's going on here. By giving this a different strength, this will fill up or not, as the case may be. Which is what you basically want to do is you want to get the where am I from? England. This is what the accent is. Yeah, so what we want to do is we want to get this to the point where we are lifting at just a little bit over half, so that when we we want to be stable at about half and then up like that, basically right up top for like full acceleration. I messed it up a little bit when I first started this because you didn't need much and this burner would be lifting up. So need more wool because I'm going to need this airship for things. No, do not escape. It's fine, I can breed more if they escape. I don't know why they always absolutely go for the gate, and now it's outside. Yep, no. Go in, go. Sheep in. I don't know what the Verity add-on is, so probably not. I don't know, I threw a whole bunch of mods in here, stuff that I've played with before. Well, mostly stuff I've played with before, but also stuff that I've not. Again, not entirely sure what mod that is. Mostly because I probably don't watch huge amount of Minecraft stuff, apart from like very specific creators. Right. Really, there should be more aeronautics content, but yeah, hey ho. People do what they do. Right. Hopefully this is going to be enough. I need the thingy. There's a thingy you can get. Somewhere on here. Maybe just go down a bit. It is trying to take off at the moment. Is it the... Where is it? Oh, is it on part of simulated? It's part of simulated. It's contraption diagram. That's what I need. Right, let's give it a little bit more. It wants to lift. It's wobbling. My problem is that I'm not entirely sure. Right, I need to make one of them then. Of course I don't have any andesite. I've run out of andesite and alloy. button. Right. So what this does, this is actually quite cool. So what I'm making now is a contraption diagram. And what the contraption diagram does is it shows you what's going on with your contraption. I need that. I need some paper. I also need to sleep because it's gone dark again. I swear that the nights aren't very long in Minecraft. Oh, that one. Except I don't have a... Goodness sake. Okay. Let me go and grab some sugar cane. Running out of things. This is why I need the everything machine. Right. So. And that one. So, we're going to add this to here. And we can see our machine. So, there we are. That's me staring at the contraption thing. Very, very nice little diagram. What you can do is you can see where your centre of mass is. Really, I'd like that to be a bit lower, but it is what it is. So my total mass is 20. However, if I give it a little bit of thrust, I can see that my... Oh, God. There was a way of showing... Ah, here we go. Gravity. There you go. So my gravity force of 220 isn't being outweighed by my lift force yet. This is a really, really good way of showing why contraptions aren't working, especially when you're dealing with physics in Minecraft, which is not really something that Minecraft does. So that's why it's rocking back and forth, because we've not got enough lift. So, I need a bigger balloon. Probably need a wider balloon more than anything, but I'll do that. Probably doesn't actually need to be that much wider, to be fair. Try that. Come on, this will work. Okay, so we've got balloon lift force. I think we're up slowly, but we are now up. Okay, let's just see what point it stops ascending. So, yeah, airship done. Can't control it yet. That's the next job. There'll be a little engine out the back there with coal in it, and the balloon envelope needs to be bigger to handle the extra weight that's going to be on it. Plus, this isn't really great. That's, you know, fully up. Really, I need to work out the ratios, but yeah, that would be quite an effective way of replacing the happy gust. Of course, now I've got to descend, which basically means just turning the engine off. However, you don't get full damage, especially not if you just cut it entirely. So that is step 1 done, at least. Airship is functional. So step 2 will be, just going to deactivate that so that I've got that could be a little bit, that could come out by 1, that could come out by 1 as well. Could expand this way. That's lopsided now. I don't know how well that, well, I do know how well it handles stuff that's lopsided. Not well. I'll say not well. Just, the things will go, things do tilt as well in Aeronautics mod. Alright. Dump my stuff off here. Right. Okay, so engine be this. The portable engine. There we go. Engine assembly. Oh yes. Oh, that's gonna need a factory. That's not now thing. Iron handle. Those look quite nice. I think those are literally handles as well that can be grabbed. Gimbal sensors. There's a lot of quite cool stuff here that I really do want to mess around with at some point. That would be very nice for drones or can't remember what they're called, but like basically quadcopters. Yeah, and I do also want some of those as well, hooked up to navigation table. I probably shouldn't be standing outside while pondering stuff, but provides redstone feedback for navigation items. Oh, is that so that you can kind of have a my brain is running now. That could be used for sort of like an autopilot, I think. So if you have a waypoint, you can basically say, hey, go to this location, and it goes to that location. Intriguing. Right. So oh, we've got an airship. I need the engine, and I also need the steering wheel, and probably a larger airship, really. But that's not a now thing. This is meant to be a small construction for the purposes of needs to be bigger. Right, sheep farm, because I need the wool, and I can't keep doing it like this. So what do I need for that? Well, I need one of these. I need chutes. I need a brass hand. And then it's like casing. I know my brass hands are in here somewhere. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're in the other chests somewhere. Gun parts. Take that. Still no brass hands. Okay, they'll be in the other place. They'll be in a different dump chest, and not that one. This is why I need trains. Getting back to the storage room takes a while. Okay, so steam engines, no, not yet. I have a whole bunch of them. I made a bunch of them because I was doing stuff with deployers. I don't know where I've put them. It's not in there. Not in there either. Definitely not in there. Oh wait, hold on. Did I do something weird with them and put them in one of the output chests down when I was working down the bottom? I bet I have. So the idea is, if you place a deployer next to a sheet and you give it shears, it will shear the sheet, but it'll also dump the output through the block, so it's just easier than picking them up. And because you can then automate it, you can just have that run all the time. You get so much wool that way. Something that's going to be really critical for something like Create Aeronautics, where everything is going to require wool. And that was part of the reason why I started the Everything Machine in the first place. Because there are certain resources which you need a lot of before you want to do anything fun with Create. Do I want to drop those? Yeah, it's a bit of I guess it's not really a problem per se, but yeah, it does mean that you can't really get into some of these mods until you have a sizable factory, which is fine. I say sizable factory. I'm probably going to go a bit overboard with what I'm planning for my airship, but as a result, I need a lot of sheep, basically. Right. So that one goes there. That one goes there. Right. Where's quartz? Combine that with some paper. Do I have any sand? Probably not. Let me go and grab some. I didn't see any sandpaper in there, so right, deployer, and then that, and then we kind of put it. They are currently all kind of hanging around here. This isn't the most effective way of using this. Really, you should have them all in pens and just do it that way, but I can't be bothered at the moment. Gives me a cow. god, that's a baby zombie. I hate these things. Their hitbox is so small, and they're as bad as silverfish. Right, okay, so, and as a result, ends up with me losing my train of thought. And I was making a water wheel because that's my go-to system for making easy power, and that is going to make the rest of the that. Okay, sleep again because there's stuff around. There's stuff spawning because I've not really lit up this place effectively yet. But the idea is that I shouldn't have to, because everything will just sort of run. That goes there, and then that goes that way. Not that it really matters, because I'm doing an incredibly bad sheep farm. Okay, just need that. Oh. Hopefully we'll get some sheep being sheared in a moment. Hold on. No. Hold on. Why is sheep not being sheared? Does it have to be like that? Yeah. Okay. Sheep are now being sheared. Forgot to add it to the filter so that it only accepts the shears in its hand. Okay, that's that. So that's just gonna run now. It won't give me a huge amount of wool, but it'll at least be better than what I had before. Now, when I unloaded everything, I needed that. So I think my working plan is to lengthen the envelope. That will allow me to, I don't actually need the glue up there. I'll need to glue it all, I think, eventually. But my diamond, the axe is about to break, annoyingly. But it is what it is. Right. So I've then since widened it, and actually that's not what I want to do. I want to keep it nice and symmetrical down here. But just add some extra space out here. Yeah, that will work. check that that's all still working. Alright. I mean, it will work absolutely fine as long as I've actually remembered to do that. And those could actually come out a bit, and that's going to go horribly wrong. This is yeah, right. Thankfully, again, no fall damage. Right, it's now not heavy enough at the back, so the center of mass needs to be shifted down a bit. Mostly just needs to be, make sure that I've done that. I think that'll be nice and even now. Obviously, as you add things, as you add things to the craft, it's going to weight things differently. And different things have different weights on them. So if you put more weight at the back, that'll counter that. And there we go. Nice big wood log. That's now actually pulled that down a bit. And possibly if I can just do, there you go. Wonderful. Right, I need to fiddle with this. There you go. That means that we are now, no, we're ascending again. Hold on. What I'm trying to do is reduce the amount of lift the hot air burner has with the large envelope that we've now got. So that the amount of gravity that we're putting on it is more than what we need. So I can get, so really I want to be descending now. Okay, that's a little bit less. Basically making sure that we have less output at about halfway, because at the moment it's all or nothing, and it just needs a little bit of tweaking just so that there's a little bit more control on getting down again. So I should be starting to descend. There we go. Might need a little bit more off that. Let's drop that a little bit more. Because this is going down at a decent rate at this point. I think any faster it would be quite alarming. Hold on. We stopped. Yeah. It's going to be landing in the water, I think, anyway. But that's fine. Actually, maybe not. Oh. Sigh. It's fine. The balloon was coming down anyway. I think I need safety rails and a little bit of a wider thing there. Let's throw that there. Maybe a glass bottom, so I can actually kind of see where stuff is. Keeps getting stuff not really stuck. Well, I should be able to just. Need to bring this down now. Just gonna cut it off. There we go. Right. So let's remove this tower. Okay, this is an excellent start along the aeronautics side of the journey. It's small, but it's once I've got an engine on here and a rudder, because obviously you can't steer without a rudder, the engine will probably go at the front. Move all this lot back a bit, split it so that I've got a couple of propellers out the back, rudder. I think that will be fine. Right, what's my arrow jack? Yep. Okay, time for me to go and throw some food in the in a saucepan. So with that, I will say thank you very much for watching. Getting somewhere at least. Hopefully by the start of next week, or the next stream anyway, there'll actually be some bees in here, because at the moment it does look quite empty. Part of the problem is the sides are still open. My notice board will either be fixed or removed, and might see about getting this airship made a little bit more useful. I think it's the problem at the moment. It's not hugely useful right now, but it will be. Mostly because I would really like to be able to use that to finish building the silo. So anyway, with that I will say thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.